Hey, this is Clayton with Everything Ponds. Welcome to the fourth video on our series about pond liners. And so this video is on protecting and covering the liner. And so a common way to do that is with underlayment or geotextile fabric. It's called either of those two things. But you can put that above the liner, you can put it below the liner. The first step with any pond excavation is you want to make sure there's nothing sharp underneath that pond. So let's say with RPE, you can actually go straight over a nice clean soil or sand or clay without any geotextile or underlayment material. But let's say you had something just slightly abrasive. You still don't want to go over any rocks. Like if you have any baseball-sized rocks in the bottom of your pond, like you definitely want to either compact those down or get rid of those. The underlayment is not going to help you against those types of things. But where it will help you is abrasive edges, little micro sharp edges. Let's say you're putting a big boulder in the pond. It's a really good thing. You can actually take the underlayment and fold it into a few layers and put it underneath as a pad. It's sort of used in any situation where you might want to protect the liner, above or below. It's also used to protect the liner from UV. It also is used if you're putting fill on top of the liner. You can put the geo first, and it kind of makes it, gives it more friction, so the fill doesn't slide down the slope as easily, doesn't move around as easily. It's also used to protect if there's going to be traffic on the liner. An example might be if you're building a pond at a ranch. They often have lots of animals coming in, deer, elk, moose, whatever, coming into the pond. So you really want to think about how to protect your liner against those types of things. So a layer of geotextile fabric over top, maybe some gravel over top of that, so then the animal isn't walking directly on the liner. So in a larger pond, you often have sloped edges. You don't have vertical walls like in a smaller pond. And so part of the problem with that is anchoring your fill material, because most people don't want to see the liner sticking out. So they want to cover it with, let's say, sand or soil or some kind of native material that's already on the site, clay. It could be rock. The interesting thing about the RPE liner is it is a little bit slippery. So if you just put some sand on it and you've got a decent slope, the sand is just going to slide down the slope over time. So the geotextile fabric over top actually helps give it some friction. So it comes in 15-foot wide rolls. You can actually put a 15-foot wide strip around the perimeter of your pond and then kind of cover that first 15 feet with fill. And then usually that's when you're first looking into a pond, usually only are looking at the first 15 feet. You can't see what's in the middle. So a lot of people will just cover the edges, and that kind of helps hide the liner. Another thing people do, if the slope is steeper than, say, 1 up over 5, so a rise over run of 1 to 5, usually you're going to need a bit of a speed bump in the slope. So I'll put a picture up of this, but that also helps anchor the fill. This basically gives a bit of an edge for the fill to rest against, so it doesn't just slide right down the slope. Another way you can do is with perforated pipe wrapped inside the geo. So you actually take the geotextile and fold it over and then tack it, and it basically also will anchor the fill. If you don't do that, you're going to have a hard time keeping your fill on the slope, and it'll slide down. All right, thanks for watching. I hope that video helped with regards to covering and protecting the liner. So the next video we're going to do is puncturing the liner, how to bring pipes through, doing bottom drains, things like that. So if that interests you, please check out the next one. Otherwise, thanks for watching.